What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC Comics Solicitations video. And we are finally at the end of 2022 Solicitations. A lot of stuff been circulating around about DC Comics and the news and all that around them. As you can see, the big preview here has Batman with Dr. Fate's helmet battling Damian, because as you know, the first issue of Batman vs. Robin was released, and we're getting Bruce vs. Damian again. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of that storyline. But in this case, it is demonic possession, but it still feels like we're going down the same treaded path we have every single time a new writer takes over for writing Damian. Yeah, let's throw all that growth and throw it away. But yes, I understand demonic possession, but it still feels like that in a way. So that pattern kind of continues. We're still dealing with like a version of a regressed character, although it's like without them being in full control, if that makes sense. But yeah, so it's them. DC's December 22 solicitations. Any indication Batman can become Dr. Fate if he's gotten put. I should probably say if he's got to put Damian's now dark magic wielding punk button in his place in December's Batman vs. Robin #4. So yes, they're fighting each other again. All that other cool stuff. December is also allegedly, some people are saying that they're rebooting DC Comics after Dark Crisis, which maybe I don't really know if you could call that a full-on reboot, because we still got other titles still kind of ongoing at the same time. Are they gonna? And we also got Nightwing, which is gonna go to issue 100. Are we gonna just refresh everything after these final issues in January? Is it gonna do a full relaunch in February? I don't exactly know what they're going to do. Which are new, but what we didn't know is that DC's next editorial area, what the publisher's calling Dawn of the DCU. So whatever the case is with that, we'll see what happens. But here's something really cool to start things off. Batman and Spawn. Yes, we're getting a crossover. Finally, some like Batman and Spawn crossover stuff. Like Todd McFarlane, Batman, Spawn. Look at that artwork. That's awesome. So Todd McFarlane, of course, is going to be writing this thing, and I'm pretty excited for this thing. I think Batman and Spawn crossing over, I think they crossed over a long time ago, but having this creative team on it, having Batman cross over with Spawn, I think that's pretty cool. So let's have Batman and Spawn. Then we have Batman One Bad Day. We have all these Batman One Bad Day stuff issues coming out for all sorts of various different DC villains. I don't really know if I have any interest in really reading any of them. I think I'm just kind of tired of the whole one bad day thing. Like, we did that with the Joker. Not every villain has to do the same thing. But, yeah, so we got that. Yada, yada, yada. I don't even know if it's set in continuity or anything like that. But, because Catwoman's still got her going on right now. Batman vs. Robin, #4, written by Mark Waid, of course. As the final battle erupts between Batman and Robin at the heart of Lazarus Island, a strange tremor rocks the combatants to their senses. This isn't an island at all, it's a volcano. With the Devil Neza pulling the strings and unbelievable transformative power about to explode out into the world, our heroes have no choice but to do the unthinkable. Fall back. A battle between father and son goes global as the Earth enters into the Lazarus planet. That sounds kind of insane, the whole Lazarus planet angle. So is like everyone gonna get resurrected after this thing? I don't know, like the first issue I thought was alright. It didn't quite wow me as much as World's Finest was by Mark Waid or Robin, but I will give it credit where it does move at a brisk pace. The stuff with Alfred is pretty good, but I feel like skipping over why Damian's in this position probably made the issue feel a little bit lesser, although we're retroactively, I'm sure it'll be better as we get more into the story and like find out exactly what happened, because you got to explain that. You have to go into more detail to that thing, or otherwise it feels kind of cheap, if that makes sense. So, but we're only one issue into this thing. It's at least only 5 issues, and they're like 5 big issues, and they move at a quick pace. So I will give props to Mark Waid for that, and they do a good job making Neza feel like a truly serious, threatening menace. So that's good. Catwoman #50, Punchline and Royal Flush Gang are causing mayhem in Alleytown, and things are blowing up, literally. So Catwoman calls in backup. We all know the cat has 9 lives since the game. What, 9-person size? Blah, blah, blah. Don't look like the sexy kind, but what's worse is... Okay, so I figured this would probably be the last issue of Catwoman, but it looks like they're going to keep this storyline going. Some nice cover art right there. Batman #130, here's a Christmas variant cover right here. The final chapter in the failsafe arc reaches its brutal and stunning conclusion. Batman has one desperate final option. Will he walk away from it? The answer will shock you. And in the backup, the early days of the Dark Knight and his relationship with Zur-En-Arrh continue. So you got the Bat family here doing their stuff, and then you got this right here. So a lot of cool variant covers. mostly to get money out of people. Detective Comics 1067, Mr. Freeze encounters Asmer, one of the demonic beings terrorizing Gotham's villainous underground network. And then Mr. Freeze makes an offer to the Dark Detective that he cannot refuse. Then the Orkham's Werewolf Protector gives Two-Face one or more chance to tell him who Batman is. In the back of the story, take a stroll inside Two-Face and Harvey Dent's mind as they try to have a secret conversation outside the listening ears of mysterious shadows stalking them in his headspace. So, some stuff with Two-Face in that. Here's some neat variant covers. Batman Gotham Knights, Glided City. So this is also tied into the Gotham Knights video game, which is supposed to come out. So we got that going on. Riddler Year 1, Number 2. This is by Paul Dano, the actor who played the character in Matt Reeves' The Batman. So we're getting more history into this version of the character, and Paul Dano is going to be writing it. So that should be interesting. Batman Superman World's Finest, Number 10, also written by Mark Waid. So Mark Waid's done a very good job with World's Finest. I thought the most recent issue was probably the weakest, but that's because it didn't really... there's a few things I felt like I probably could have done a little bit differently to make the finale to that first arc like stand out a little bit more. I think omitting Kara from going back in time to where Nightwing, or to where Dick Grayson Robin was at, was kind of a mistake. I think it would have made it a little bit more impactful had she gone back with them. But all things considered, I thought it was still pretty good. It wasn't a terrible issue by any stretch of the means. I just think it could have just been a little bit stronger conclusion. But there's still some good stuff in it. So World's Finest is delivered. So as you can see, they got all this stuff going on, different characters set a little bit more in the past. They can kind of play around with things a little bit more. It should be fun. World's Finest has been good. Superman, Son of Kal-El. Oh boy, number 18. The Rise of Red Sin, with the Landmark Action Comics 1050 just around the corner. Prepare for the ultimate battle between Superman and Lex Luthor as Clark and John continue their intensive training, but will it be enough to overcome the mysterious new villain calling themselves Red Sin? Oh, I certainly hope so. Son of Kal-El, they finally just finished. The most recent arc finally just finished in issue 15. I did read it, but my god, 15 issues to just end one single story arc that just dragged on for like ever. Like that. Ugh, like Son of Kal-El, and then plus we had the crossovers with Nightwing, so like the whole Bendix storyline is finally like at a close. That storyline dragged on for so freaking long, and it just ended with John and his pink-haired K-pop boyfriend kissing in it, and like if you're into that, cool, but like the story itself around it just hasn't been very good, and their development's been very rushed and stuff. So it just wasn't a very good first arc, and just like the stuff with Bendix just wasn't very good. I don't know. I just think Son of Kal-El just as a whole as a series has just been kind of a dud. Like the first issue had promise and then just quickly just downward spiraled. And I just don't think it's been that good. The Dark Crisis is over and a new dawn shines on the DCU in wake of the cataclysmic battles with Mongol, Henry Bendix, and Pariah's Dark Army. Kal-El is back on Earth and here to stay, and the people of our planet are ready to look up and away into a brighter tomorrow. Well, most of the people. Clark Kent's reunion with Lois and his son, John Kent, proves fleeting when strikes the ultimate attacker for his greatest ever, Lex Luthor. But this time, it's different. Luthor has stolen something from Clark's life, something so important that it will change the very planet itself. If you think you've seen the biggest battle between Superman and Lex Luthor, think again. I probably have already seen the biggest battle, but, keep teasing me. This clash will rock the course of their lives forever, and it's only the beginning. 2 years' worth of Superman stories come to a head in this oversized anniversary issue with all-star talent that includes Superman and the DCU into an exciting new era. So yeah, this is all this like new era of DC Comics, which I think is really going to start next year. So we had the New 52, then we had Rebirth, and I love DC Rebirth. Then like once Dark Knight's Metal and that happened, and like Justice League No Justice, that really kind of tanked DC Comics for a few years, and we're still really feeling the negative effects of that. Yeah, they tried something with Future State, and most people just generally just don't care for Future State. I know they still have that Future State Gotham title going around, but like I think everyone's just checked out of that book in general. So I'm just I'm just ready for a new era at this point. Like maybe are we going to reboot? Are we going to do like a rebirth thing? Who's going to be in charge of it? Like there's a lot to be asking questions about in terms of DC Comics. But here we go, 1050. Cool stuff right here. Wait, let's get this. Oh, look at that. There's John Kent. Remember when he was a likable character? Yeah. 25? Are we having 25 covers for 1050? That's kind of an insane number for 1050. But here we go. Okay. the finale of Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I heard was spoiled in Flashpoint Beyond. So I haven't really been reading Flashpoint Beyond, but I think that's kind of funny how they just give away the ending. Great Darkness is defeated, but the final war has only just begun between the remaining heroes and Deathstroke's Dark Army. Who will be left standing? The Justice League and the Infinite Earths have returned, but at what cost? Do not miss the shocking conclusion that launches the DCU into 2023. So there we go, Nightwing in the cover. Oh, the Justice League's here. Okay, so Starfire, Cyborg, and Nightwing on the Justice League. Okay, that works. Nightwing should be on it at this point. There we go. Oh, I love that art. Like this poster right here. This is some good shit. Look at how cool that looks. That's awesome. That is an awesome cover right there. I love the fusion that we got in World's Finest. Like how he's fighting Deathstroke right now. So amazing. Such amazing stuff right there. But like that's my favorite cover right there. So then we got like all these other different characters and different iterations and stuff. There's a nice George Perez cover right there. But is Nightwing ascending into godhood now? I'm curious to see what happens with that. Dark Crisis Big Bang #1, also written by Mark Waid. So Mark Waid's definitely writing a lot of stuff right now at DC, it seems. After the monumental events of Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths #4, Pariah has successfully resurrected the infinite multiverse, and all of reality is still reeling from the event. Join Dr. Multiverse on a haunting journey through these newly reformed realities, from the Jurassic League, which I haven't read, DC Mech, which I haven't read, Dark Knights of Steel, to Batman 89, which I did read, and back again in a guest star galore, all new epic by comic legend and DC architect Mark Waid. So there we go. Looks like we're going off here. We got the Joker's stuff from Batman 89. Is this going to tie into the Flash movie at some point? I don't know. We'll see. Flash number 790. As any speedster worth their salt will tell you, time can move pretty slow for the incredibly fast. So what happens when the entire armada of conquering speedster aliens shows up on Earth's doorstep? The most intense battle from the Earth has ever wrapped in the span of 60 seconds has begun. Okay, Justice Society of America #2, written by Jeff Johns, assuming this book will actually come out, because when it comes to Jeff Johns, everything he writes takes like 2 years, and then it gets delayed a million times, and it's like, oh, we're doing this and that. It's one of the reasons that whole Doomsday Clock storyline kind of fell off a bit, because, well, as soon as we got that, we got like all this other stuff by Scott Snyder and that going on, and just Doomsday Clock started out really exciting, and it was a good story overall, but it just like faltered so quickly. Does anyone remember Doomsday Clock at this point? I'm like, this was like the sequel to Watchmen. It was pretty good for the most part, and then it just kind of fell off a bit. I don't know. So yeah, there we go. Justice Society, Jeff Johns. Could be very good, or it could be very poor. I mean, Jeff Johns has written some good stuff, but he's also written some crap too. Let's be honest here. He's not perfect, but he definitely is more successful at writing than he is at failing at it. So he was an architect for DC Rebirth, which is a very good thing. It needed to be done, but we'll see what happens next. Are we going to get Rebirth #2? Who's going to take charge of DC editorial? Because you got to have, like, you can say you're relaunching stuff all you want, but if you have a lot of the same creatives that were behind, like, some of the lesser stuff at DC Comics, it's not going to fix the problem. So we'll see what happens. The new Golden Age continues. Stargirl and Red Arrow track down the mysterious island Courtney saw in her vision, but could the pair of heroes locate Wing and other missing heroes really be captured? So we got Stargirl and Red Arrow in that. Deceased. War of the Undead Gods. The Galactic War has reached Earth 2 in the battle to save the last bastion of hope. With an unstoppable army infected new gods, Yellow Lanterns, and more, does humanity have any hope of survival? So we got that right there. Oh, there's Kazam. I'm going to call her Cass and Shazam. Cassandra Cain. Oh, that's a really cool cover art right there. I like Cass as Shazam. I think that's a good thing for her in this whole Elseworld thing. I think that's just a great combination right there. And there's Damien's Batman. You have like, looks like a mother box or something. Brainiac, Darkseid, Yellow Lanterns, all sorts of crazy stuff right here. So Deceased has been pretty good for the most part. We're also finally at the end of DC versus Vampires. I'm excited for the end of this thing. It feels like with all the spin-offs and that, it's really kind of dragged on a little bit at this point. And then sometimes things take a little bit longer to get released. But this seems to be kind of like we're ending Dark Crisis, we're ending DC versus Vampires. So a lot of titles that I was kind of following and covering on the channel are kind of going away. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But yes, so Matthew Rosenberg, James Tynion IV. The cataclysmic final issue of the best-selling series will end with a bang and a whimper. Green Arrow will lead humanity's final charge from the blood mines of Smallville. Supergirl's mission to get off-world comes to an explosive end, and it's Batgirl versus Nightwing for the fate of the entire planet. The stakes couldn't be higher as the future of humankind is on the line. So we got this. We got all these different characters right here. Look at this cover right here. You know, if I want to die, I want to die being crushed like that, as Nightwing's probably enjoying. But there you go. So this is a very interesting cover right here. But let's see how it all plays out. So we also have this one right here, like 1 week before this final issue. So DC versus Vampires All Out War. This is like another one of the spin-offs. The grand finale, with the dying embers of their hope rekindled at the 11th hour, what's left of John Constantine's Suicide Squad attempts to traverse the Badlands with the precious cargo in tow. But just as final victory over the vampires and their endless nights seems all but assured, the team must contend with their most powerful and terrifying enemy yet, Baron Cinder himself. In the backup, what happens to Poison Ivy when the world ended? Okay. Boom. Cool shit right there. Blue Beetle Graduation Day. So you got a 6-issue thing right here with Jaime Reyes. This looks like a cover of, this looks like a Power Rangers villain right here. Wildcats, number 2, Matthew Rosenberg. I don't know if I'll be reading Wildcats, so somebody have to update me on that stuff, but there's cool covers right here. Court of Owls, Talon versus Zealot. Harley Quinn, uncovered number 1. On Celebration of Harley Quinn 25 comes a gorgeous irreverent look at the amazing variant covers that help make the mischief. Okay, so these are just variant covers we're looking at. Okay. Danger Street, number 1 by Tom King. There we go. Calling Upon New Gods. So here we go. Tom King writing another series right now. So, another 12-issue Tom King series. So I know what I'm not going to be reading. That's this. If somebody likes it, you can enjoy it. Sandman Universe. I actually did watch that Sandman show. I was kind of mixed on it. It really wasn't like... It's kind of hard material to adapt. And I've never really read it, but based on like how it translated in Netflix, a lot of that was, you know, in a lot of ways tough to follow. I thought the character that David Thewlis played was probably the most interesting aspect of the entire show. But then once he was out, like, it kind of lost its momentum. So, yeah. Tales from Earth 6, Celebration of Stanley. Okay. Reimagine the DC Universe criminal. Okay. So, for Stanley's 100th birthday, we're going to get some versions of Stanley's characters that he kind of, like, made and stuff. So this is a nice tribute to Stanley. I think that's actually pretty cool that they're going to do a tribute issue to Stanley. I think that's like pretty cool. Everyone misses Stanley. Stanley was pretty good, or pretty great. He did a lot for comics, and I always enjoyed looking forward to his cameos whenever he'd pop up in things, whether it's Marvel or hell, he even showed up in a few DC things. Teen Titans Go, that was a very funny appearance. So I like that aspect. So then we have this Black Adam Justice Society. Looks like all the stuff that has to do with the Black Adam movie. So if you want to read that, you can just check out this thing. Batman Beyond, Neo Year. This is like that trade paperback. How much? $20 for this. Batman Urban Legends Volume 4. Some more issues right here. Let's keep going down. Just a couple trade paperbacks. Harley Quinn number 25. I'm shocked this series is still going, but hey, Harley has a TV show going on right now. There can be only one Harley Quinn, or, you know, maybe like 100. The multiverse is a strange place. Old lady Harley, Harley laughs, Harley's joined. Maybe she'll actually get to meet animated series Harley Quinn, you know, the true best version of Harley Quinn, written by Paul Dini. So, Harley Quinn, the animated series, Legion of Bats number 3. Now, season 3 of the show just ended, and they did announce season 4, so if you want to kind of follow up what's going on in between the seasons, you should probably check this thing out. I actually may start to give this series a read now because, well, I enjoyed season 3, although having it just be 10 episodes and probably going to be a really long wait between season 3 and 4, it didn't feel like enough, because like they're short episodes. It's only 10, because seasons 1 and 2 had 13 episodes, but they already like made like all 26 in a go. But like now it's just like it's a very short bit of episodes, and I just kind of wish we had a little bit more. And, you know, season 3 had its ups and downs. Like there's some good, and then there's like some stuff with Batman that was kind of a bit of a downer. And I know it's an Elseworld, but sometimes it can be hard to get into some of the characterizations in that. So Batgirls, number 13. Batgirls, Steph and Cass were taken off guard when they were captured by their own parents while magically swapped inside each other's bodies in the 2022 annual. And now it's time for them to take the power back and do their own confronting. But sometimes it's easier to kick butt than it is to talk about feelings, especially when those feelings hit close to home. Lady Shiva and Cluemaster seem to want to make amends with their daughters, but if the girls know anything, it's that nothing is ever what it seems. So this is about them, but Babs is on the cover right here. So I actually saw there's a great Dan Mora cover right here. It's also for Nightwing too. So we got like a Batgirl's variant here and a Nightwing one here. I love Dan Mora's artwork. I mean, everything this guy draws just looks top tier, top notch. So look at that. That's it, like every character is drawn really well. And man, I miss this suit. Look at how cool this suit is. It's so much better than the purple Burnside one. So I like the black and yellow. The color palette just looks better to me. So here's this Nightwatch storyline. There we go. I haven't read it. Batman Incorporated number 3, or as I like to call it, Ghostmaker Incorporated number 3. So Ghostmaker has taken over. The senses-shattering third chapter and No More Teachers continues. The Batman Incorporated team finds themselves at war with a rival Bat group, and Ghostmaker is about to come face-to-face with his greatest failure and his deadliest enemy, the mysterious Phantom One. I swear to God, if this is just like keepsake. Wait a minute. Who the hell is that? Is that Clown Hunter? Oh my God, it's just ridiculous. Batman Beyond the White Knight, number 7. Okay, so here's Batman Beyond the White Knight. All this other stuff going on right here. I haven't been reading Batman Beyond the White Knight or anything like that. So here's the final issue of Batman Fortress, by the way. So I've heard kind of really mixed to negative things about this series. Some people, I think, liked it and others don't. But yeah, this is by Gary Whitta. The final battle for Earth is on hand. The world's finest are together again. But what dark connection does Superman hold to the visiting aliens? How will the secrets forever change Batman and Earth? So there you go. There's that. Batman the Audio Adventures. Why this isn't just an audio thing is beyond me. Here we go. Here's something pretty big right here. Actually, this is launching in January. This series is ending. A few things from January appear in the solicitations. But in January of next year, Batman Urban Legends is coming to an end. I figured it would come to an end by the end of... It had to come to an end at some point. So it seems like January seems to be like all the leftover stuff is going to be coming to an end for a lot of the titles. Nightwing's going to be hitting issue 100, so that's a pretty big landmark issue. So I figured that would probably mark the end of that. If they're going to be doing this whole big relaunch of a lot of things, that'd be the time to do it. World's Finest, or Batman vs. Robin's final issue comes out in January. So really January, to me, is kind of the big turning point for DC Comics, because a lot of the stuff ends in December. People are ready to go on holiday, and they got all their little anthology series and stuff for around the Christmas season. And so I figured a lot of stuff would end. But anyways, so Urban Legends comes to an end in 23. As you can see, there's this big cover right here. All these various different characters who have popped up in the book throughout the ages. Various members of the Bat family, looks like. Azrael, all this. There's Duke, Steph Cast, and all them. I think that's Cast up here. I don't know. A lot of characters are kind of hidden and stuff. So, but, yep, there we go. Dark Knights of Steel, number 9. I have not read any of this book at all, so I don't know if it's any good or not, but Tom Taylor is better at Elseworld stuff than he is in the main universe. So this is the Bruce Campbell stuff right here. Shout out to Bruce Campbell. DC Mech, number 6. So here we go. I haven't read any of DC Mech, but I like mech stuff. So Fables, don't really care for. GCPD, The Blue Wall, number 3. Don't really have an interest in reading this storyline right now. I didn't really enjoy a lot of what John Ridley was writing, and in terms of his DC comic stuff. Oh, here's another one. Tom King. Not going to read it. Don't have much interest. I Am Batman, number 16. Just going to end up skipping this thing, most likely. It's like, I Am Batman, like, it had the future state benefit, but nowadays I think most people kind of just, like, falling out with the series. So, yeah, there's that. Don't have much interest in it. Nightwing, number 99, with Blockbuster off the table. The crime families all head to Bloodhaven in an attempt to claim the city as their own, including Tony Zuko himself. Is he still alive? Wow, I'm surprised. This should be easy, right? Since his daughter, Melinda Zuko, is currently the mayor and definitely not secretly working with Nightwing to take down crime bosses. So yeah, there's that going on right there. And here's the other version, because we had the Batgirls cover, and now here's the Nightwing version of it. So Nightwing's kind of taking center stage right here, and we got the Burnside Babs costume. I like this. I like how they kind of, the roles kind of flipped a little bit, given the titles that are on. So here's this one. So one issue away from issue 100. So issue 100 will be like the big one. So Punchline, the Gotham Games. This is going 3 of 6. Public Enemy number 1, Punchline, Cross the Dangerous Line at Ace Chemicals, and Cross Batman in the process. Now remastered vigilante and officer-in-law is after Punchline. So what's going on here? Gotham Rose and the Bat. It's the cat. Catwoman will hunt Punchline and make her pay. So 6-issue Punchline series. I like that Gleb's doing the art for it, so I think that's cool. But story itself, we'll see. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Yep. Sword of Azrael, number 6. So here's the final issue of this Azrael storyline. So Dan Waters has pretty much just taken over writing Azrael in general. So there's that. And the art is by Walter. So I didn't read any of the Sword of Azrael stuff. I don't have to read every single Batman storyline, do I? Here's a Court of Owls Scooby-Doo crossover. Now that sounds kind of funny. But yes, Batman Scooby-Doo stuff. The Flash number 789. I think I showed 790 a bit ago, but like it's weird how they have these placed. They should have had these like placed before the stuff in December. So this is December. The other stuff we saw was January. So more Flash stuff. Human Target number 10, also by Tom King. No, thank you. The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing. This is the sequel to the Joker comic. I don't know if I'm actually going to be picking this up. Or is this really a Joker comic book is the question. Or is this just another Jim Gordon thing? Okay, I see Red Hood in here. So there we go. More Joker stuff. I like this cover right here. This is a pretty cool one. Tim Drake Robin, number 4. So this one's written by Megan Fitzmartin. Bernard has been kidnapped and only one person can save him. His boyfriend, Tim Drake. Plus, the Gotham Arena continues to be the target of both political unrest and a string of bizarre crimes. With every part of Tim's life seemingly ready to explode, can the young sleuth crack the case of his abducted admirer before it's too late? Okay, wait a minute. What are we doing? We're doing the Damian and Dick cover, but, you know, Tim is in the Robin thing, he's in the Robin thing. Who's did the cover? Dan Moore right there? Okay, I gotta give props, Dan, but this is a nice nod to that cover. Although Damien's probably like, why the fuck are you still Robin? You're like a grown-ass man at this point. Move on. So, although we have 2 Batgirls, so we have 2 Robins, I guess, or 2 Batmans for some reason. So, and it still doesn't make sense why Jace Fox is Batman, because in Future State, at least it makes sense because Batman's gone, but why is he acting like Batman now when... I don't know. But that is a nice homage. Although, like I said, it works best because it was like Dick and Damian in the cover. Although these 2 in here, it's a nice variant cover. But it's a nice nod to that Morrison Batman and Robin run. That's a cover that uniquely stands out. They also did that in the Nightwing book too. So yeah, Titans United Blood Pact number 4. Connor Kent has been sentenced to death, and there's nothing the Titans can do, or is there? Hope is found on the battlefields of Europe as a weapon of Themyscira and the last son of Atlantis fight the forces of Ravenworld. Donna Troy is back, and she wants blood, motherfuckers. So yeah, there's that going on there. Well, this is the only decent Titans book I'm sure coming around. I'm sure it could be better, but it's better than Teen Titans Academy, I'm sure. I don't know what DC's going to do next year, but Wonder Woman 794. I haven't really been reading Wonder Woman, but got some of the creative team there. Young Justice Targets number 6. Perhaps the last bit of this universe of Young Justice, right? So, because the show has not been renewed for season 5. And you know what? Young Justice, I was really looking forward when season 3 was announced, but it just has not clicked since season 2 all the way through. 4 was a little bit better than 3, but it's not the show it used to be, and that's really unfortunate. So maybe this book will be good. But I think they just threw in too many characters and just lost focus was the problem. I think Young Justice worked better when it had a smaller group of characters to focus on. So there we go. Batman the Joker, Deadly Duo number 2. So these 2 are kind of teaming up together for reasons. I'm getting tired right now because there's so many damn stuff. So Dark Crisis Warzone number 1. Matthew Rosenberg, Delia S. Jeremy Adams, Frank Tier, and Stephanie Williams. As the Hall of Justice falls, get new perspectives on the various conflicts while the battle across Dark Crisis rages on. With the classic Justice League members gone, see how members of the next generation, such as Red Canary and the Flash family, deal with the chaos in this key chapter in the saga leading to Dark Crisis number 7. Hey, Raven made a cover. That's pretty cool, right? So, I think I've seen this last month, right? So, there we go. New Justice League, Darkseid, all that other different stuff going on. For some reason, this won't load. DC War of the Undead Gods, number 5. Yeah, it's weird how this one loads here, but it showed issue number 6 in January, I think. A greater chaotic force enters the battle, and in doing so, threatens reality itself as more heroes fall and the whole galaxy is lost. The most powerful forces across the cosmos must stop watching from the sidelines and finally act. So, here we go. I think we've already seen these ones before, but Raven the Bold, Fast Mail Edition. Batman Nightwatch, number 4. I think we showed Nightwatch, number 5. Batman Urban Legends 22. Yeah, we showed 23. I don't know why they showed some stuff in January and just kind of doing this. But, that's the case. So, here we go. More stuff for Urban Legends. Now I know I only have till issue 23. Here's Nightwing and then a Batgirl cover variant right there. Looks like Seer and all that. Gotham City Year 1, number 3. Tom King, no thank you. Mad Magazine, never really reading it. Monkey Prince number 9. I don't know if this book is any good or not, but it could be decent. Static, Shadows of Dakota number 3. So here we go. Issue number 3 of 6 miniseries. Sword of Azrael number 5. So we got more of this Azrael stuff right here. Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing number 3. This is the Matthew Rosenberg right here. Jason Todd is in town, going to confront the Joker in that. Just get rid of the Joker at this point. And yeah, that's that. Not much else here for DC Comics, but I'm going to be honest, December solicitations don't really there's nothing that fully has me all that super enthusiastic or ecstatic. Maybe DCeased I'm looking forward to, and I guess the end of Dark Crisis should be interesting. And, Batman vs. Robin, I'm still going to keep in tune with it, but nothing is really jumping out at me in December that just goes, wow, I can't really wait to read that one. I guess that's just kind of the state of DC Comics as a whole right now in terms of all their stuff that they got going on here. It could be so much better. It really could be so much better. And maybe after Dark Crisis, things will start to get better. But because, Dark Crisis is going on and continuity is kind of hard to follow where everything's... Oh, DC versus Vampires. That's the other one I look forward to because, I actually like DC versus Vampires a lot. Where was I saying? But yeah, with Dark Crisis going on right now, it's kind of we're in a weird state right now where the continuity is oh, but we want to be here, but not here. And so they got all this stuff going on. I don't know where things take place, and they already spoil all their stuff. So who knows? Who even knows at this point? Dark Crisis has not been hitting things out the gate like it should. I mean, it's been all right, but it could be so much better. I don't feel any weight or stakes to anything to what's going on, and it just feels rather depressing. And even some of the other titles, I don't really have anything in terms of ongoing that's just wow, I can't wait to read that one. I mean, yeah, we have some good creative teams on some stuff. You got a good creative team on Batman, but even then, the issues aren't firing on all cylinders like they could. Catwoman, I figured this book would come to an end, but I guess it's going to keep going unless this really is the last issue. I'm surprised this book has gone to issue 50, if I'm being honest. Harley Quinn's on issue 25. I'm surprised that book's still going. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm just kind of surprised. And, of course, we just get a lot of Batman. In some capacity. Batman's going to be involved in Dark Crisis somehow. It's just Batman overload, Batman this. Action Comics could be, pretty good. But, yeah, there's just a lot of Batman going on right now, and it's just kind of crazy and insane. I don't know the state of DC is going to be next year. Warner Brothers Discovery coming in and buying things up, all this new stuff. Dark Crisis seems to indicate that the OG Justice League members are going to take charge. Maybe Dick Grayson will be put in that A-list role, which he deserves, because everyone knows who Nightwing is. Dick Grayson's been around for a long time. He is a very well-known and well-beloved character for a reason. So we'll see what happens with him. We'll see what happens with all this other stuff. But I think DC does need a Rebirth-esque relaunch in a way. Maybe not a full-blown reboot to start from scratch, or just a Rebirth, almost like Rebirth 2. But you need a good creative team and editorial to kind of lead that into the promised land, because Rebirth was a really good success for DC. It really was. And then they kind of lost sight of that, and Dan Didio came in, did all this angsty stuff, and now we got all this other crap that's thrown in DC with creative teams that just were let's replace all the Justice League members with new, less popular members, instead of letting the legacy characters that have been around for years take up the mantles. No, let's age up John Kent so he's 17, 18, and then we'll make him Superman. Stupid idea. Or let's bring in Jace Fox's Batman and this whole future state stuff. Why Jace Fox of all characters? He's not really even associated with the other members of the Bat family. If you're going to have at least one member of the Fox family take up as Batman, Luke Fox would have made more sense, because he's actually, has a connection with the Bat family, unlike Jace Fox. But, they wanted to, replace Batman with Jace Fox for whatever reason, and it's not been a very huge success. And they were let's replace Wonder Woman with Yara Flor. Okay, or this new Green Lantern or whatever. At least with the Flash, they had Wally West in there, or they wanted to get someone else in there too. So yeah, this idea to replace all the iconic characters with newer characters that nobody really has a long-term established connection with, it's just a really dumb idea in general. If anybody's going to take up the mantles, it should be the generation that was immediately following, like Dick Grayson taking charge, or Wally West, or Donna Troy, not Yara Flor, not Jace Fox Batman. You know what I mean? Or like let Connor Kent be Superman. Why does John Kent have to be aged up from age 10 to age 17, 18 just so he can become Superman and just you know what I mean? It doesn't feel right. It just feels off and it doesn't feel earned. So I could care less for this whole new Trinity that they're trying to push with John, Jace, and Yara. It just doesn't really work for me. And John hasn't been a very great character for a long time. So I used to love the character, but now he's just like it's kind of weird too. It's like let's age him up just so he can do all this. I don't know. It feels off. It just doesn't feel right. And then yeah, Batman vs Robin. Hopefully issue 2 really picks up the pace and keeps me excited, but I am a little tired of the whole Bruce versus Damian thing, even though this is a possessed Damian. I'm just tired of it. Like, didn't they just spend? Why are they still fighting at this point? I thought they just reconciled. Now we're fighting again. Yes, it is possession. I know that, but it just feels like the same thing happens every time. We have a good period with this character right here, and then it's like, oh, it's going to be back to the darker version of it. This better just be the Majin Vegeta thing, and we can just put an end to it all for good, and just move on. I'm tired of like dwelling on things that have been going on for too long. I want to see a good direction going forward with DC. So hopefully things will be good. I don't know who's going to really take charge of it. Because even the movies, it's kind of the same deal. Like, they're kind of in a weird state right now. Warner Bros. Discovery is just hacking everything to pieces right now with the new CEO, David Zaslav. And it's in a really unknown place right now. So hopefully things will be good, but only time will tell. So anyways, do you have any thoughts on DC's December 2022 solicitations? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this thing. I got other stuff I got to do, but I just want to get this video out here and let me know all your thoughts. So, all right, well, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.